Hi, everybody, here on the Linfield Sports Network. I'm Kevin Nelson, joined by Linfield men's head basketball coach Shanan Rosenberg. And, Coach, your team put up 100 points in both games this past weekend against Northwest Indian College at home. A couple of big wins. Your team now 3-1. What did you like about this weekend's play?
I like that everyone got to play. They were obviously we outmatched them in many ways. I mean, I think the first night we played really hard, which is oftentimes you don't do when you overmatch an opponent. I was pleased with that, and I was pleased that everyone was able to get some game reps.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it was we did some things execution-wise that were improvements for us. I was content with that.
Austin Murray and Nagasi Hart, your leading scorers on the weekend. Nagasi was nominated for Northwest Conference Player of the Week. Talk about how their performances shaped a couple of big wins.
Yeah, I mean, both of them. I mean, Austin was 11 for 11 there, and I don't know if the minutes were accurate, but on short minutes, and certainly Nagasi, the most efficient he's played yet, hands down, and I'm real happy for both those guys. I think, real fabulous performances, and really for Nagasi, a big piece for me was the 0 turnovers on Sunday. I think just his ball security and decision making, allowed for him to be, and he was very aggressive and played hard defensively, which led to some nice plays. And Austin just did a great job of getting position and keeping things simple inside and produced.
Right, a couple of career high nights for those guys. Both your non-conference games are done. You're 4 games into the season. How does this starting lineup start to solidify now? Do you see that as happening, or are you still in the rotational system?
Well, with Eric coming back, he played spot minutes through the weekend. I expect him to be healthy and work back into the rotation. I mean, he would likely, him or Austin Daniels, who could be back as well. I think they're going to end up in that rotation in terms of a starting spot soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
We've learned to play with some flexibility by necessity, and we'll kind of wait and see how things evolve through this week.
Northwest Conference games coming up this weekend, the early ones before we get into the rest of them in January, but you take on Puget Sound up in Tacoma on Friday night and then come home for your first home Northwest Conference game against Lewis and Clark. Big games coming up this week.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not a big fan of these early conference games, but they are what they are, and Puget Sound's off to a great start, and they're always tough at home. Real difficult task for us, especially with the ride and et cetera, but we're looking forward to it. We'll prepare this week for both teams, and obviously you want all conference games matter, and we'll put our best foot forward, and so we'll see. And then it'd be nice to be back at home with Lewis and Clark on Saturday on the short turnaround there, but it'll be fun.
It seems like early on this season, your team hasn't turned the ball over very much. And you see with young teams or teams that early on in the season, turnovers are always an issue, and maybe that a thing of the past for Linfield basketball.
I don't know what team you've been watching, Kevin. We turned over too much. This last weekend we were averaging almost 19 a game. So, which in my mind is too much. Ideally we want to be at, and I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just saying,
no, yeah.
We need to get a lot better in that area. I think we like to get down to 10. This weekend we did do a much better job with that, and that was something we focused on. A lot of that I attribute to our opponent perhaps more than us, but I think that's an area of concern for us. It's an area we need to address. Other statistical categories, we've been outstanding, and I think they really kind of pop off the page, even in our opening weekend. But that's an area where we need to continue to grow.
Talk about Mason Robbie and Matt Woods coming in now. They're going to see more minutes just because of the situation with Austin Murray, but talk about how their play has been this season.
Yeah, it's been great. All our big guys, I think all of them have been giving us potent minutes, and we've been able to thus far rotate quite a few bodies through. I think that those roles and minutes will become more refined as we go on. But I've been pleased, in particular this last weekend, we did a good job of getting more interior feeds and opportunities to get some high percentage points, and they've been doing a good job with that.
Should be a big crowd this weekend for the home game on Saturday night at 6 o'clock. What a word for the fans, if any?
Come on out. Fun team to watch, and we'd love to have all staff, faculty, obviously students and community members to come out and support our team. I think we're a lot of fun to watch, and we value and encourage your support very much.
Awesome. Thanks for the time, Coach.
You got it.